Here we're going to look at the basic tools of finance, present value and future value. So let's start with a couple definitions. The future value is the value of a dollar amount that deposited today will grow to in the future if it vested at a given interest rate. Present value is today's value based on a given interest rate of a future dollar amount. Here are the key formulas. Here is the future value formula. FV is the future value, PV is the present value, 1 plus R is the interest rate, and N is the number of years. To get the present value formula, we're just going to divide everything through by 1 plus R raised to the nth power. So if you know one formula, you should be able to back into the other formula. So here is the present value formula. Once again, R is the interest rate, and the interest rate will be entered as a decimal, and N is the number of years. So, a few things about the future value. The future value formula illustrates the power of compounding. The value of an amount deposited grows at an increasing rate because interest earned gets added to the account, which earns even more interest. So you're earning interest on top of interest. So if we're to use this formula and see what happens if we deposit $500 today at 10%. Sorry, I spelled deposited wrong here. So if we deposit $500 today at 10%, it's going to grow exponentially. This again is illustrating compounding. We're earning interest on top of interest. A few things about present value, PV. $1 today is more valuable than receiving $1 tomorrow or $1 in 1 year from now. Why? Because $1 today can be invested and grow to more than $1 in a year from now. Finding the present value is called discounting. And looking at this formula, as either R or N increases, the denominator gets bigger, meaning the whole thing or present value gets smaller. So if we use a higher interest rate, or we're calculating the present value from a cash flow received way out in the future, the present value will be much smaller. Present value is useful for determining today's value of an asset that provides a stream of future cash flows, such as a business. You're considering buying a business. What are you getting? You're getting an asset that will return cash flows in the future. So the process of discounting could give you a ballpark figure of what you might want to pay for that business. So let's do some problems. So future value problems. What is the future value of $100 deposited today at 10% at the end of 1 year? Using our formula here, $100 is what you deposited today, or the present value. 1 plus R, the interest rate, where again the interest rate is entered as a decimal. So simplifying this, we get $110. Example 2. What is the future value of $100 deposited today at 10% at the end of 3 years? So main change here is that our N now is 3. So 1.1 raised to the third power is 1.331. Multiplying that by 100, we get our value here of $133.10. Another example. What is the future value of $100 deposited today at 8% at the end of 9 years? So $100 is our deposit. 8% enters as 0.08 at the end of 9 years. So this is going to be raised to the 9th power. Simplifying that, we almost get $200. Let's do some present value problems now. An investment pays $110 1 year from now. If the interest rate is 10%, what is the value of the investment today? So the future value is 110. 1 plus the interest rate. Here we got 0.1. And since this is a cash flow that is 1 year out in the future, we're going to raise N here, or N is going to equal 1. And doing the math, we get $100. And one way to think about this answer, if you had $100 today and you were able to invest it at 10%, what would it be at 1 year from now? It'd be $110. What is $1 million received in 10 years worth today at an interest rate of 5%? So what value does receiving $1 million in 10 years, assuming an interest rate of 5%, have today? Using the formula, the value here is $613,496.93. So at a 5% interest rate, you would technically be indifferent between having $613,000 today or $1 million 10 years from now. Another present value problem. You can either 1, invest at your bank and earn 6% interest, or 2, buy a share of stock today for $50 that you expect to sell for $61 at the end of 3 years. Which investment should you undertake, ignoring risk? So using our present value formula on this stock purchase, so we think we might be able to sell it for $61, so that's the future value. And the interest rate here we're going to use is what you could earn in the bank at 6%. So doing the math here, the present value would be $51.22. If you pay $51.22 for the stock and sell it at $61 at the end of 3 years, you'll earn a 6% return. However, because the current stock price is actually less than $51.22, it's currently $50, you will earn a return that exceeds 6%. So in this case, you should buy the stock anytime the price is less than $51.22 in this example. And here's our final present value problem. What is the present value of receiving $400 at the end of 1 year and $200 at the end of 2 years at 5% interest rate? So writing our formula, we're going to have basically 2 calculations. We're going to discount this $400 back 1 year, and this $200 has to be discounted back 2 years. So putting in our interest rate and solving this, we get $562.36. Okay, I hope you found this video helpful.